Hello there. I have just finished watching episode 6 of Kenobi, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it now. Um, I'm torn. I despise parts of it, but other parts I think they did really good. Um, One thing is, like, I know I've been shitting on this show for the past two videos I've put out, but I will give it some love when it does things right. I want Star Wars to succeed. So I guess for this video, I'll just go through what I really liked and what I thought was fucking stupid. I don't know if you can hear that. I got somebody blaring music outside my door. All right, I'll start with the good because I feel like more people want to hear the bad, so I'll spend more time on that. The good. I'll start right out in saying that my favorite moment from the entire show is like a 10-second part, like a 10-second interaction. My entire. Okay, I've wasted enough time. It's when Vader has his helmet slashed and Anakin is standing there. Now, I hate most of the lines they give Hayden Christensen there because they're fucking garbage. However, one line in particular, through all the shittiness, sent chills up my spine. And that is when Anakin died, essentially. Okay, so the scene is playing out, and, Vader slash Anakin is going through, and, you have Hayden Christensen, slightly robotic voice coming through. It's all shitty until he says, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. And then, like, Darth Vader smiles and just looks so evil. And he says, I did. I got chills up my spine on that. It's so good. I don't understand how they couldn't have done that, like made the Vader cool like that the entire time. All I got from this show from Vader was that line, but it was the coolest fucking thing ever. Love that. Like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. And he smiles all evil like. He's like, I did. It just, Anakin is truly dead in that moment. And to see his eyes, again, when you give Hayden Christensen the right material, I've been saying it, he is a damn good actor. Especially when he has to play an evil Anakin. Very, very good. And just the rest of Vader's lines were just so poorly done. It just frustrates me that, like, not all of them could have been that good. What else did I like? I'll say this, that I liked that they finally seemed to understand what we wanted to see. Although I think it was too little, too late, and it was just kind of shoehorned in. I do like seeing Liam Neeson back as Qui-Gon, although it makes no sense that Qui-Gon would wait 10 years to speak to Obi Wan. They give some bullshit line like, Alright, I'm gonna give my best Liam Neeson. I've always been here, Obi Wan. That's really bad, but they give some bullshit reason like he's always been there, and it's just like, no, you fucking haven't. I don't know if they couldn't get the budget for Liam Neeson or what, but it's like they're really stupid that he waited 10 years of, like, Obi-Wan calling out to him to not even say anything. But I liked seeing Liam. Oh my god, I liked seeing Liam Neeson back. What else did I like? I liked at least the choreography a little bit better between the fight of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I thought, it was reminiscent of their fight on Mustafar a little bit more, And I liked how Obi-Wan has finally become the Ben Kenobi that we all know, and more of like the Obi-Wan that we knew. I think very too little, very too late, but at least we got to see it, and it wasn't just a whole season of like this miserable loser uh, that didn't know how to have hope in the direst of situations. All right, what else did I like? I liked the reference to Padme finally at the end, and that's about it. So let's move into the god awful parts of this show, of this episode. Where to begin? Oh, I know. With Reva. Boy, oh boy, was I like writhing in my seat every time it cut away from any sort of coolness with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader to fucking Reva and her storyline. No one gives a shit. No one cares. No one gives two craps about her. Her storyline doesn't even make sense. I went through this in the last video. Why would Anakin take her in at all when he he knows that someday she'll betray him, and then why would he put her on finding Obi-Wan? It makes no sense. So none of that made sense, and then the reveal that she was a youngling is just kind of shoehorned in. This episode, it starts off by her being in, getting on Tatooine somehow. Qui-Gon Jinn died within like 2 minutes of getting stabbed the exact same way Reva did. But not only is Reva alive, she is thriving walking around Tatooine. She makes like little winces at her stomach, but she is like fully walking around capable of doing everything. Uh, really stupid. So her storyline makes no sense. And I say this again, one of my biggest problems with this show is that they keep contriving these scenarios for our heroes that we know survive to the original trilogy. Why would you put Owen, Beru, and Luke in danger, or try to make them in danger when we know they survived to the original trilogy? There is absolutely no stakes. So the only thing that could happen, only couple things that could happen is that they kill Reva, which no one gives a shit, or Reva does what she did in the show, which is decide not to kill Luke, which we knew wouldn't happen anyway. She wouldn't kill Luke because there happens to be about 3 movies dedicated to Luke. I don't count the sequels as movies; they haven't earned the right. Yeah, so what are we doing spending, I don't know, 20 minutes of this 55-minute long episode on Reva going to kill Luke? I understand that she eventually decides to spare Luke, and I don't mind that as a plot point. I do mind it when it's a character that we know lives and a character deciding to do that I don't give a shit about. Because I don't care anything about her storyline because they didn't give me anything to care about. So she's really bad in this. Again, the acting not great. I don't know what the actress's name is, and I can't even tell if it's the acting or the writing. That's how bad it is. I can't even tell which is worse. It's probably both. The actress not great. I saw somewhere, and I don't know if I referenced this in another video, but I saw somewhere that she had never seen a Star Wars before this. What? If I'm being cast in like the 9th Mission Impossible movie, don't you think that I would at least watch the first 8 once through to make sure that I know what the hell is happening in this universe? Don't you think I would at least do some research into the role? I don't know. That could be completely false. But if it's true, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we casting people for? I mean, I don't care who you cast, but maybe make sure they know the source material or force them to learn it before they play such a role in this enormous universe that you're casting them in. I don't even remember where I was going with that. I lost my own track on that. Oh yeah, I don't know if it's the writing or if it's the character. So the acting is bad because I don't think the actress knows the world she's supposed to be in. But the writing, I can't even entirely fault her because the writing is so atrocious for her. Like, imagine you get cast in something and you think you're playing one character, and then like halfway through they tell you, nope, you're this other entirely different person. I'd be like, okay, I don't really know what to play here. So I don't entirely blame the actress, but I'll give it 50-50 on that one for the horrible character that is Reva. No one gives a shit about. What else is stupid? Vader is also pretty bad in this. I don't I lean towards the writing for most of these faults. James Earl Jones is like a world class actor, Hall of Famer. He's like 90, so they have to like de-age his voice or something like that. So sometimes you get some like weird inflections, but for the most part, it's the writing. So bad, dude. Like shit that I would hear out of I think I even said this, like shit I would hear out of like a kindergartner's like first draft on like writing, like for Darth Vader. It is so bad. I am what you made me. It's so dumb. And most of his lines in this are that dumb. And it's like, oh, Vader has this sophisticated way about him where the words he uses illustrate how powerful he is. He doesn't go around saying shit that you'd hear in like a low budget action film. That is so stupid. I actually had to, after I was done watching this episode, I went and watched Star Wars Theory's short film on Vader because that shit for, I looked it up, 0.008 of the budget. That might equate to like 8%. I don't know if I did the math right. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. 8% of the budget. I don't even think it's that high. I think I'm doing the math wrong. 8% of the budget, Star Wars Theory gets Vader right over Disney with $25 million budget per episode. Let's do the math right now. 25 million times 6. That is $150 million budget they can't get Vader right. And it looks like no care was put into it. The special effects in this are horrendous. They're not even trying to like do groundbreaking technology with this, where it's like, it's understandable. They're still in development, and it is a TV show technically. No, they have a better budget per episode than a lot of movies do from Hollywood. I don't want to hear any excuses on the CGI being so shitty in this, or the writing being so piss poor, because people do a lot more with a lot less. Star Wars Theory, Vader, Shards of the Past. Check it out because they do Vader right. The lines they give Vader in that sound like Darth Vader's lines, like proper but also merciless, like like a gentleman that could kick your ass because he's like a politician now, like with the Senate. Another thing I'll bring up is I like that take in Star Wars Theory's Vader. I like that take on Vader more than the take they gave him in Kenobi. In the Vader short film, he is more haunted by Padme, and he gets nightmares about not being able to save Padme and how much he hates the Emperor. In Kenobi, we get 0% of that. We get none of Vader's internal problems. It's Kenobi, 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 Kenobi. Like he's been going after Kenobi for 10 years. And that's fine if you want to go like that. But you're making him just like, I don't know, you're just making him one dimensional. Where you have this whole thing, the entire reason for him being Darth Vader was because of Padme. And you don't even mention her by name. You do mention her, as a character, but you don't ever show Anakin struggling with that whatsoever. Just a waste. Just a waste. Um, God, what else? The thing is with these videos, I don't take down notes. I just go off the top of my head. So I'm trying to remember from whatever. Okay, okay, all right, all right. Here's a big thing. Not a lot of people will agree with me on this, and I know that going into this, okay? So as I say this, I know that whoever is listening to this will not agree. But one of my biggest pet peeves with modern filmmaking, cinematography, TV shows, whatever, one of my biggest issues is fan pleasing. What's the official term? It's fan service. I don't like it that much. And one of the biggest infractions I don't like is when people use the same dialogue for a character that's already been used again because it was good writing at the time, so it must be good writing in this context. I disdain that. I don't know if that's the right usage of disdain. No one talks about this. I have not heard anyone else mention this, but I have noticed it in a lot of recent media, especially long-running franchises, is that they use word for word the exact same line as someone more competent than them has written way earlier. Give you an example, Game of Thrones, season 8. Many a times in that season, a character would say something word for word what them or another character said back in like season 2, and it makes no fucking sense. I don't like that because it doesn't make logical sense why you would say that again. I don't repeat stuff word for word all the time as a response to different things, and I don't expect characters would do the same thing. So why would they do that in all these different modern pieces? It's because either it's a meme or it's because it was great writing when it was done the first time. And so if they use that and try to make it applied to this scenario, it'll work just as good this time. People are freaking out that Obi-Wan says, "I will do what I must." And hello there. Uh, it just, it doesn't woo me as much as it does other people. I can understand the hello there because Alec Guinness says that in The New Hope, and they have Obi-Wan say it in Revenge of the Sith. The good thing about that is that they don't say it in the same context, and it's not even trying to be the same kind of thing. It's when Alec Guinness says it, it's like a part of another line. It's like, "Hello there, don't be afraid." And then when Ewan McGregor says it, it's like, "Hello there," it's greeting General Grievous. It just so happens that they sound exactly alike, but they're not saying, like, they didn't put that in there just because Alec Guinness made that line famous. And here, he says it just because it's a meme, and it's like, that's fine for fan service, but you're fucking, like, it's no attention to make their own plot a thing, and I don't care for it, and a lot of people do. Most people do. 99% of people will probably freaked out when they heard him say those couple of lines, and I just didn't. Like, so the hello there I can forgive because, maybe that's just something he says. Maybe that's how he greets people. It's just a greeting. Maybe I shouldn't get to. But him saying, "I will do what I must," like, it just rubs me the wrong way for some weird reason. And again, you might not agree with me, but why would, like, he doesn't say that line all the time to where that's his catchphrase. So why would he say it in that instance, like, word for word? Like, maybe change it up a little bit, like, or maybe even reference that you said that last time. It's just weird. Like, it's hard to explain. I hope I've done an okay job of explaining why I don't like that. It's just weird to me why a character would say exactly the same thing again, the same way they did 10 years ago. Like, realistically, I don't even know if he would remember saying that, and like, What is that? What he says before he fights everyone? Like, is that his catchphrase? I don't know. It's just dumb to me. And I mean, we all know why they put it in there is because it is an iconic line, and they just want to repeat it. But it's like you can't make your own cool lines, and as we learned, they cannot. They cannot make their own cool lines. You got Vader saying, "I am what you made me," like every mustache twirling villain has ever said. They can't make their own lines, so they have to just steal. It's not even borrowing, it's stealing from more creative people like George Lucas. We're over 20 minutes, but I don't care. This is a deluxe exclusive version, edition uh, of my review on Kenobi because I'm not done talking about it yet. Yeah, so just take. Oh God, I was gonna say something. I keep doing this. I keep cutting myself off from my train of thought, and then I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, yes, that's right. Uh, okay, number one, uh, I don't think Ewan McGregor still was acting quite Alec Guinness esque. He's a little off. He's too high when he says stuff. It's not as good as when he did it in Revenge of the Sith. But I don't blame Ewan. I blame the direction. I blame these people that have never fucking seen Star Wars, apparently. Uh, Here's a big thing. I'm done with Disney Plus. I've been done with Marvel ever since Endgame was over. I've liked, I gave WandaVision a chance. I didn't care for how they ended it. They started with a really good half of the first of the series, and then they shat on it. And so I've started to watch it less and less, Marvel, I mean, because they're just becoming shitty and they're milking it. They're doing the same thing with Star Wars. So I'm done with Star Wars, and for the time being. And here's a big thing why. I am so sick and tired at this point of whoever is in charge over at Disney. I don't know if it's Kathleen Kennedy or whoever the fuck is making these decisions. I am so goddamn tired of them shitting on more talented people than them and then them trying to make their own story, which sucks, and then them calling George Lucas or Dave Filoni or fucking John Favreau in to save their asses. I am so goddamn tired of that. I'm not going to give them any more of my money because they don't deserve it. They keep thinking they can do it on their own. And I'm not saying you have to hire George Lucas or the other two guys every time, but you keep shitting on what they're doing and who likes their stuff, thinking you can do your own thing, hiring untalented people to perform that, and then when it doesn't perform well, go sniveling back to them and bringing them in to save your shitty ass product. The reason I bring this up is because I heard that they're bringing George Lucas in to write the second season of Kenobi. Fuck yourself. George Lucas is nearing 80 years old if he's not already there. He does not need to be the guy coming in to save your problems. Hire the correct people for this job the first time. It's not like you're starting a new franchise and you're trying to hire creative writers. There are millions of capable writers that could make your Star Wars product good. And you choose the worst one every fucking time. J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams again, whoever the fuck directed most of the shows in here. He put Dave Filoni's name on it because he made the Clone Wars possible and made that popular. No shot he's had any influential say in your shows because they're shitty as fuck. I don't like them. People do because you throw nostalgia in there, and that's about it. And then you call George Lucas in to save your ass, or just to have his name on it, so you can sell that to your viewers, that George Lucas worked on this. When in reality, he told you what you should do, you patted him on the head, smacked him in the face, and made your own thing. So I'm done with you, Disney, until I hear that you have made a viable product. because I am done with having these new shows come out every 3 months that have five god awful episodes and then one halfway decent episode to save it. I am so done rewarding you for that. It is so ridiculous that Kenobi has to sit at like a 3.5 average rating because you don't know how to work it. Give it to people that are competent enough to utilize the world and actually love it instead of people that you want to have in it because you're friends with them. Fuck yourself. Where was I going with that? I don't even get me started on Disney Star Wars because I don't stop. We're over 25 minutes. I don't care. I've normally tried to cap it at 20. I don't give a shit. There's more to say. Okay, another good thing is that they finally used Star Wars music. How about that? They finally fucking used Star Wars music in the sixth goddamn episode. And guess what? Every time they used that Star Wars music, I liked the show more. I liked what I was watching. You had the trench run music, like the dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm not doing it justice. It's like the dun 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 dun. In the trench run in A New Hope, you had that playing when Vader was chasing the ship at the beginning. It was good. You had a version of like Anakin versus Obi Wan, I think, when they were fighting. You had the Force theme. Hello, the Force theme playing when Obi Wan was talking to Leia. Really good stuff. But fuck yourself for waiting till the last episode to have that in there. What the hell is wrong with you? The worst music I've heard. It like just stock music for 5 episodes, and only now are you putting that in there? Too little, too late. I'm sorry, too little, too late. I liked it, but that doesn't mean that I'll reward them for waiting till now. So that just means that they knew what they had. They just chose not to do it for some fucking reason. More on the content of the actual show. Really dumb. Really dumb premise. Dude, this show, all it wanted to do was stuff that happened in the 6th episode, but they didn't know how to get there. So like they wanted Qui-Gon in it, but they didn't know how to make that 6 episodes. They wanted Vader and Obi-Wan to have this massive showdown where Obi-Wan slices Vader's helmet and you see Anakin, but they didn't know how to get there. They wanted Leia to be in it, but they didn't really know what to do with her. All these different things, they had ideas, they just didn't know what to do. So all to say, it was so stupid at the beginning when the Grand Inquisitor's like, hey, we have like this rebellion right in front of us. Should we stay on them instead of Kenobi? Like, we'll find Kenobi. Let's just take out this rebel resistance, rebellion, like while we have them. Vader's like, nope. Turn everything towards Kenobi. Turn it all towards Kenobi. What? You couldn't destroy the ship that's right in front of you? Are you kidding me? This is Last Jedi territory now. Like, you can't shoot the thing that's right in front of you? What the hell sense does that make? And then why wouldn't you just, like, Vader take his TIE fighter down like he already does, and just go after Kenobi, let everyone else go towards the rebels? What the hell? You have Vader's flagship directly following them, but you turn everything towards Kenobi just for Vader to take one ship down and fight him himself. Now, I commend Vader for actually doing that. This show has made Vader a pussy and stay back while other people do the work for him. So I commend them for Vader actually going and doing it himself this time. But you still can't even do it, right? Because you have a fleet that Vader left behind. And he didn't tell them to go after the rebels at all? Stupid. Really dumb. The fact that I can poke holes in this, and I don't know, this has been almost 30 minutes. The fact that I can poke holes in it in 30 minutes and you had, 2 years to make this thing? Screw you. Like, you're bad at your job. I hate to say it. Actually, I love to say it, because you think you know what Star Wars is. You don't have the first fucking clue about what you're dealing with here. And all this to say, like, we're getting to 30 minutes. Like, this episode was the best one of the six, but the shiniest shit in the toilet is still shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it was the best one of the six, that's not even a compliment. Like, that's just a fact, just a simple fact. Like, don't take it as a compliment. Like, you didn't make a good episode. You just made the best one of the six. So, all this to say, like, I'm done with Disney. Like, Marvel is kind of in the shitter. Not kind of. Like, it's not great. I'll make separate videos on that. But, like, so that's one thing. But it's like, Marvel, it's like, at least it had its good run. Like, you can pause after Endgame and be like, yep, that's the end of it. With Star Wars, they just keep trying to milk it, man. Like, stop. Let it be special. Give it to people that know what to do with it. And stop releasing it like every fucking couple months. You're not giving yourself any time to direct it and do anything with it and make it cool. You're just making it just to make a buck. And that's the crime of it all, is that you're not putting any effort into it because you care about Star Wars. You care about making money. So let's all just calm it on the nostalgia baiting that they're doing. Let's all just cool our jets and look past that. Look past the nostalgia and ask yourself, was it a good story? Was Kenobi a good story? Did it tell a good story? My vote is no. You have Leia captured 3 times, Leia rescued 3 or 4 times. You had Obi-Wan running around, leaving his one mission, Luke Skywalker, on a planet to die if he wasn't there. Like, if Obi-Wan died, Luke would have been raised solo and never would have learned about the Force or anything. Ask yourself if it was a good story. Did we need to follow Revo around? Did we need to follow Kenobi around? All these dumb side quests. Did we need to do any of this? Did putting Kenobi and Vader, did pitting them against each other really add value? Really? We knew both of them survived. We know most of the characters in this survive, so they kept putting them in danger. Was it a good story? I think it would have been better is if instead of all this conflict, direct conflict with Vader, you had 2 introspective stories where you could have gone into Kenobi's introspective feelings about how he's living right now, and you could have gone into Vader's and made 2 separate plot lines like that, and not made direct conflict like generic, stale, styrofoam conflict. You could have had deep, meaningful, impactful stories about how these characters are feeling now. But instead of doing that, you went with the cheapest, just carbon copy outlook on it. And that is the shame of it. That's the shame of it. So, I'm done with Disney. They don't deserve my money. Ask yourself that too. Do they deserve your money? Are they putting their best foot forward in all this? One good episode per series, I don't think is worth it. You're getting one good episode in the Boba Fett. You're getting one okay episode in Kenobi. I didn't really like Mandalorian. It's not enough for me to warrant giving them money. And I know $9 a month is not going to hurt them, but it's the principle of the thing. Like, I'm not going to pay you money for things that other people can do better. Like, sorry. All that to say, that was less about episode 6 and more about just Kenobi as a whole. We're over 34 minutes, so that's a plus. I'll do some more videos, but this is going to be one of my last ones on Kenobi, unless I decide to come in with more that I hate about it. That has been me for tonight. See ya.